think they've got a good chance to make this 3.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. It is time, Dust 2, Map 2 for our first semifinal. Helium Launders, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Here we are on to Dust 2. This is where Mousesports really need to put it to Navi, set the pace early here, find themselves a pistol on this T round, and just keep pouring on that aggression. If they can make the rounds costly, maybe even keep Guardian off of that op. We'll see how it'll work out for him. And Guardian thinking he has an op right now, going straight for that doors peak with that P2K.
Yeah, that's so powerful because you can know, first of all, which way teams are going to go, if they want to cycle back or not. The issue is that if they come through lower B like they're doing right now, then he's not in a good position to get a kill, though. A little bit aware of that. Oh, reloading really close to the door.
Yeah, they probably hear that. Let's see.
Oh, bad flash.
Oh, Chris J gives him the old crouch. And, you know, the Glock train can be terrifying. There's an easy solution, though, just hitting those couple bullets. And Chris J with another one, going to grab Edward through those B double doors. So 5-on-3. He's picked up that CT pistol, seized on the back of that platform. Not going to work out either. Zeus passing right across Chris J as he goes through that smoke. And are they about to take the flawless round? No. Flamey will find one. Can he get any more? He's also coming in with that USP. Let's see if he can get anyone. He's getting triple peaked pretty much. That bomb is down, and there it is. Almost the flawless round from Mousesports, and very good. Chris J getting that nice entry there at middle.
That's why we always call him Entry J.
Everything J.
Whatever you wanted to do, Jay.
Exactly.
Jesus, Jay.
Is it going Pig Latin now, or what?
Mousesports is a really strong pistol team. Like, we've seen them do so well on pistols. And with these higher tier teams, it seems like pistols are 50-50 no matter what team you are. Right? You grab a strat and you hopefully hit your shots. Oh.
Wow, Chris J tagged 2 people there through the doors. And let's see.
Oh, third. He's
and another is 3 for 3. That one just kind of shooting at the door, hoping for something. But that's already hurt Navi's chances on this round because it's a force from them, right? And now look how much HP they've already, 150, 170 HP already off the table for them.
Yeah, Speedy has actually been given some trouble here by Flamey, who has managed to push into the long doors. And he's got a player behind him who's going to flash him out. And he's going to get hit by Chris J. Chris J has tagged 4 players so far on this round. At about 200 damage with that scout. If it's the case that Mousesports are funneled into a mid to B situation, they are actually going up against the stack. Zeus is the only one who is not going to contest them, but it looks like they might have changed their mind. They cleared out close mid doors. And we have someone going up cat, though. It looks like it's Chris.
Where's Zeus at? He needs a tagging. He's in CT spawn here. Let's see if Chris can get it. Zeus, though, gonna peek out, and it's actually, he goes untouched. He'll bring down Chris J himself. Speedy, though, next, and Gob all capitalizing. Look at all the assists coming in. Chris J on almost everything. Yeah. Surely there's an achievement for this, right?
Yeah, yeah, just ADR king. I mean, he got like 250 ADR that round. That was a pretty solid from him. I think that was a big reason. They ran into a stack, and a couple dinks were ahead, but no one died. And that's probably because Navi's players didn't have as much time as they would have if they had more life to do more damage. So if there was a stat for that.
So that puts them back onto the first full eco here for Navi. Means that 4th rifle round not going to be, you know, all that impressive in terms of your weaponry. If you're Navi, we can see CEVO up on this box, a position where it will go unchecked, but he doesn't even have an upgraded pistol, so it'll take a bit of work, yeah, even with the USP.
Yeah. Now, what I want to pay attention to is the setups from Navi. What we're going to see them do, obviously, on this round, it's going to be some type of free-for-all. But so far, it's a 2-stack on cat, kind of passive here.
Yeah, I wonder what we'll see in the rifles. Will they take the 2 players cat like they are doing now, or will they go again instead where we always see like forward long positions and 1 CT spawn, 2 over towards B? We will have to wait and see. Zeus has gone down already. Molotov off that pizza into the bomb site. Dennis continuing to hit these shots, finds Flamey. Gob checking everything. Guardian, though, down in the pit. And no one's even coming through long. If anyone does, it looks like it'll be Spitty, who's still lurking back there, being very, very patient.
Yeah, they've got Dennis on cat. Speedy top mid is going to take a fight. Gets a short spray down with the UMP onto C's. Finds a headshot. Now Edward is in lower, and he knows the one's at long. That's Chris J to take care of that. Mousesports off to a clean 3-0 start.
That they are exactly what they need to do. Getting onto their map pick, starting off very, very strong. The money, you can see, not great, right? Guardian is going for this glass cannon op. This first rifle so important. And actually, this is crazy because Glass Cannon Op versus Scout. Scout so much better in this position.
Yeah, actually, I mean, if he's able to find a tag without taking one, that's for sure.
That's true.
You can't actually move and shoot, but you can move much more quickly with a Scout. So there is distinct advantages and disadvantages that will favor whoever hits the first bullet. Now, Zeus is going to be smoking off Cat, moving towards mid, and we see a similar, like kind of a 2-on-2, but they are just playing like not static. Oh, there's Zeus going to get boosted up on the blocks. Make sure this is really great position because if they smoke CT, he'll be able to look through the smoke, and if they jump into CT from behind him, he's going to be in a really good position to just take some shots off and catch people off guard.
Yeah, because in that position, when you just crouch, turn around, and watch, that CT ramp going into A, you're still covered for middle, and they're not going to like turn and check that if they haven't been shot at. So let's continue on this round. About a minute off the clock right now. Mousesports maintaining that middle control. Navi went into basically everybody's default CT setup. You got one push into the long pit, one at car, CT, and two over towards B. So very standard. And Zeus using the spot that getting extremely popular amongst all the teams. Smokes all coming in though. Still able to see up it.
Zeus eats that full flash, but can still see over the smoke.
Yeah, and everyone running up. He'll get the clear shot eventually. Now he will find Dennis, and with that silence gun, maybe still not even sure where it came from. So the mid to B split completely shut down Chris J, though, finding that op shot onto Guardian. Does nip him down in one because of the nature of that glass cannon op. And getting the bomb down in the smoke, perhaps. Chris J still trying to get it, and he will not. Now going to run out of time and out of lives. So there it is. Navi taking that first rifle.
They got destroyed. Now the sentiment there was fake and mid to B, cause a rotate, push up Cat, commit 2 to the fake, which I really like. The issue was that they didn't actually cause any rotates. So because they had Zeus boosted up in that position, they had felt no need to move anyone else over, and they were already in a 2-1-2. So going A with 5 players would have made more sense than committing 2 to a fake and then hitting it, even though hitting a fake and cause rotations would have been great.
And we saw Guardian there in the alt chat saying 100 damage, Imba, as he went down to the one scout shot. So pretty funny there. Guardian Zeus, though, finding this one, and that's not a good look for Mousesports. They go right back into, still having the money to get the rifles and a decent amount of nades out, but going down too early just like that, it's going to need some big efforts. Gob, though, hitting an entry, coming off of the catwalk. Speedy now coming up long, got to get into that bomb, but player peeking wide off of that smoke. Zeus finishing the round. Navi now 2 in a row and keeping 4 people alive. Also 2 rounds in a row.
I mean, these are rounds of decimation right now. Navi fell off long with 2 players and gave up control to Mousesports, who came around a corner at kind of their own pace and managed to just get obliterated. Didn't get a single trade-off for most of that round, and it was all favorable positions of Mousesports. Unfavorable for Navi, I guess that goes without saying, but still unable to get any frags.
Guardian this time going to start things off looking for that early pick. Sees, I think he did get Chris through the through that telephone pole right there. Guardian now backing off, still has that P2K. Now support coming down from B. It's actually Edward that finds all those kills. Guardian assisting on the one of them. Chris able to make his way up Cat, actually a player on the site.
Oh, free plant.
That will be Spitty getting that bomb down. Edward going to get 1 and a second, so big round for him. 4K going to go up for the ace, perhaps. Oh, Flamey's going to deny his teammate
That's
the
okay,
ace.
it doesn't count. It's just an eco.
That's true. It wouldn't have counted anyways.
We wouldn't have clipped it, boys.
Nope. No BenQ best play for acing and ecoing Terrorist Squad.
Ecos are harder and harder to win every day, so there is some, some merit to it, but yeah, I guess that's all there is to say. Navi have 3 decisive rounds, 2 of them rifles, 1 versus an A split, 1 versus a mid to B. Shut them down both times. The issue for Mousesports, the biggest issue was trades on the second round. On the first round, it was committing to a fake that was unnecessary in a situation where they assumed Navi were playing 3-1-1.
So Smokes out there on long to get that early control of it. Let's see if they'll either just a positive player or the other 2 trying to force their way up Cat. Gob will find that trade there, but Guardian with his side, Navi, they'll trade more effectively towards that middle area. Gets in the man advantage 4-on-3, but next opening it up onto Flamey, and look at that, is so close. He'll go down to Guardian. 2-on-2 still. HP in favor of the CTs here. Guardian another shot onto next. Now it's Spitty with that op. And a 1v2. A minute on the clock. And now trying to cross, just giving that really slow peek. We can see Edward up on the catwalk, Guardian in CT, hiding it out, watching the other side of things. Molotov to go down. It's not quite a smoke, but it helps a little bit, I suppose. And crossing, getting tagged by the rifle and brought down by the op. The 1-2 combo.
Yeah, that's a 4 frag from Guardian. Just locked down A by himself pretty much. The spacing from Mousesports could have been a little bit better, I feel like. Not being able to cross there, but Guardian taking an aggressive position, was able to kill next before he even came to a corner or put himself in a position that looked like it was a little bit too risky considering it was a 2v2, and I'm sure made him regret even coming that far. So playing as aggressively as he did, took that round into his own hands and made a huge impact. Earned himself another save, and whoa, that's a nice clean flick.
Guardian's getting out of control right now. It's going to be very difficult. I mentioned like maybe they can keep that economy tight, get Guardian off of that op, but Guardian now he's approaching 16K loaded, and that's very dangerous. That means ops in many rounds to come. So even if Mousesports do find a rifle round, there's a strong likelihood that it could just be a one-off rifle.
Yeah. In the oh my goodness, in the past 5 rounds that Navi have won, they've kept. I
think it's only 4. They've only lost 5 players in 5 rounds.
5 players total in 5 rounds.
That's one heck
set
of a
of
statistic
rebuys
for the CT side.
And it's just been domination. I think the biggest issue, again, if they want to do these fast plays for Mousesports, they need to be on the same page in the sense that the spacing needs to be a whole lot better. The trades come out, it does get to the point like once where it was a 2v2, but overall, they haven't made much progress. Even getting to a site, getting the bomb down hasn't even been like an option for Mousesports most of the time, and that's the huge reason why we see them on this constant buy save cycle.
Guardian using this one way here on that long A ramp, waiting for Chris J to peek up with his, there it is, the profound aggression, the op.
Touch my body.
Okay, so going into the mid-round here. The push comes out on the catwalk. Flaming Jesus going up and from middle, so well-timed aggression. But this time, there it is. Mousesports on the effective end of that trade, keeping the... Oh, and now it goes right back to even. They had a 3-on-2 for a brief second. Zeus, though, found it. Now 2-on-2. Could be anyone's round from this point, but Guardian going around. Maybe that scope being heard here by Gob. Will he see the close player or the far player? Goes for the quick knife beat. Gob was so close, but it's still a tough shot. Molotov coming out now that the time is getting low. There is no other option, and that smoke comes down, but it doesn't quite extinguish the Molotov. You see Chris J trying to go through it right as it fades out. Guardian still holding that angle. They will peek, almost lining up for him. They're not quite aware that Gob actually crossed, so he's got a chance on it. 10 seconds on the round. Will he fake the plant? No, Guardian goes for the jumping op shot right there, pulling out the pistol now, going up, and a jumping AK right back at him.
Whoa.
I see you're jumping up, and I'll raise you a jumping AK.
Oh my goodness. Jumping one tap from Gob. How do you plan for that?
I don't know. You don't.
What do you pack on that trip?
Oh.
Yeah, that was a familiar situation for Mousesports. That 2v2 at long. This time they had a smoke, but it was also bad. And that was a point against them. Crossing in that situation allowed Next to just go down immediately. Gob managed to get away, get the bomb down, put himself in a 1v1, and jumping one tap. Like, analyze that.
No thanks. So the ops are back again. I talked about the money on Guardian, still quite good. He's got 8.5 with the full buy coming in on this round. Zeus once again boosted up here on that other side of CT spawn. Very powerful position. You can't do that jump yourself. It's not the easiest jump, to be honest, and it obviously makes noise in that case. Getting up later on in the round where players could have already kind of walked out mid a little bit. So you get the assist in there from your teammate.
Yeah, well, when you're Zeus and you can just tell people what to do. Like, hey, let me step on your head.
Zeus is in matchmaking. He's like, hey, can I get a boost? And 4 people are like, yeah, sure. And then nothing is covered. Smoke's coming down. We already know from previous round. Zeus able to see over these. See if Mousesports figured it out.
Are we seeing a strategy right now? No, Mousesports did this exact same play. They ended up
trying to throw the fake.
Committing two to mid to B. This time it's going to be the mid to B, simple mid to B fake. The cutoff CT rotates from the 2-1-2, and this is a good read. Going up A right now would work out. Guardian, though, is going to make them regret it.
Woo! Dennis right back at him, though. Back-to-back op headshots to start off this round into the 4v4. Next coming out, can he get those entries? The bomb, though, a little pass-off lateral. Can they get it down still? Flamey pushing up that ramp. Dennis to miss the op shot. Flamey's spray not looking all that great either, but finally the kills come in. That leaves Speedy 1v3. He was, again, he's always kind of the lurker holding that flank, so not up in that sight. Time now obviously gone. Nice shot, Dennis, from Guardian, in the round, though, over. Navi up to 6.
Can't deny it, and oh my goodness, another round where Mousesports it was a lack of confidence. Like, once again, I mean, this is the exact same thing that I think we saw with Luminosity versus Mousesports. Like, except it's Mousesports versus a team that it maybe is just as far away in skill disparity. We saw like them get that entry, trade 1-for-1 on Guardian, 2-1-2 situation. Flamey is the only player along, and they spent so much time cutting him off, even though he only had a rifle. Typically, if there's an op there, you don't want to lose a single man. If you can get him to shoot once, put them on cycle, then you're able to cross plat. This time it was a rifle, and they spent so much time trying to get across that people managed to get around the slope and start shooting across bomb box, and that's pretty unacceptable. They would have easily won that round, considering they didn't sell 2 to the fake and got far up cat. It was the right play, once again.
So this round, Mousesports coming in with that gun that they did save, doing a little bit of damage. As you can see, 2 people dead. Flamey very, very low. Guardian below half HP here, but no armor as ChrisJ picks up the AK, comes out, peeking it with the aim punch. Doesn't work out. Seized finds him now 7-4 in favor of Navi. And ooh, the money's still not fantastic here for Mousesports.
Yeah, it's 7-4, but I'm starting to lose faith in Mousesports' half. They have to change something right here. And it's God B is doing his job. He's calling the right plays.
Top fragging too.
Yeah, he's making the most sense with what he's doing. And the first round, right? It was a me to be fake that might have been unwarranted. It might have been just a wrong play because even though the thought was there, Navi were at a 2-1-2, so he had a bad read. When he adapted properly, right? He's not wasting players now. He's picking the right sides to go to at the right moments, but Mousesports are doing a bad job. Like the rest of his team doing a bad job of trading, and after getting an entry, becoming explosive, right? Same problem that I brought up with Luminosity yesterday.
Flamey turning on the heat, throws the Molotov into the longhouse there, forces Dennis out the other way, and right into the bullets, the path of Flamey. Now everyone flashing out. So blind here. Flamey not able to capitalize. Zeus is here with a spray down. Can he get all 4 of them? And he still has an opportunity. Well, look at the flash. Why not? Going for the blind headshot. Edward, though to finish it off, and more or less clean round. But it was just Tech 9 Armors coming out. What's the money situation over on Mousesports right now with the bonus coming in? 3 losses. They've got enough to keep the pressure up.
Yeah, it looks like a tactical pause out from Mousesports, who might take a second here to talk. Yeah, I think it's warranted. Like, I can just tell. And I don't want to
talk too
just
loudly
in case players start taking off their headphones. But yeah, I think it's a very warranted pause right now. Well, from what we've seen so far, we see merits in the play of both teams. Obviously, Mousesports being down in rounds haven't improved themselves, and it's an uphill battle, right? Some of the rounds they're supposed to win, they're not able to.
What's your quota on rounds on the T side? I mean, we see a lot of Dust 2s that will just, depending on the teams, we can see all T-sided half between 2 teams matching up, all CT-sided half. Yeah. Based on what we saw in Overpass, probably expect Mousesports again to put up a better fight on CT. Yeah. What do you think they need, like 6?
The issue with like Navi, that's like unique to any other team in the world really, is that like it's hard to say whether or not they're going to have a fantastic CT side or a fantastic T side. Yeah. Right? There's almost like no reliance on the map to determine whether or not they're going to have a good T side on any map. They think about every single thing they do. It's thorough all the way through. And I guess we'll look at the stats and see if we can discern anything from
one rifle round from Mousesports in round 9. So there's that.
Yeah, they got 1 rifle round. I mean, some of the other rounds, right? Like even though they lost them, they weren't 1s and 0s to me. Like they did look pretty good on them. It's just they weren't able to finish them out.
All right, well, here we are. Looks like the pause is going to be over, so going right back into it. Mousesports coming out with a full buy. Let's see if they can do anything different, some adjustments after they took that timeout, had a brief time to talk about it. And it is that 1 timeout, tactical timeout per map. So maybe you wonder if they took it a bit too early, but probably about halfway through this map. I mean, we're on round 13.
I think it's a good time after like a few of those. Edward now going to be boosted up in the box in CT.
Seems to be going for pretty much their same sort of strategy, working up cat early on in the round, but a lot of these have gone late, and it's Dust 2 with mid-control. You could still hit either side.
Listen, it's a 2-1-2. Guardian's actually anchoring B. If they knew this, if they had X-Ray on right now, they knew exactly where Guardian was playing, they would hit A.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. He's moved over so dramatically to the back of the B site. So that's an odd adjustment for Navi. Maybe they're Navi expecting such a mix-up because of the timeout. That's why they put that position there. Perhaps the spawn for Guardian was just amazing, but we know the 2-on-2 setup, as you mentioned, means no coverage on Cat from those CTs. Dennis trying to find that shot, but it keeps getting flashed. 4-on-3 for Navi as he's coming up from behind, brings down Next, and he's actually there ready to lurk on the lurker, bringing down Spitty. Edward working his way up, flaming from a distance, finds one frag. Edward now with that one. He's going to intercept Speedy as well, and there's 9 on the board for Navi.
Wow, just Navi just came through and found every kill like no problem once the retake came out. Once again, Mousesports have the appropriate play. This time they actually get across, put the bomb down safely with over 4 players alive, which is a new precedence for them, but then are unable to defend the retake at all. Like, they're caught out in the open, pushing around smokes, trying to get an early frag just so they can equalize, and then having another player at another point look around that same smoke to try to trade and can't do it and get shut down completely. You know, in that situation, maybe you put one Goose, maybe you put one bomb box, or maybe since you came up Cat, you could play from there, but they didn't do that. They tried to get an early pick to make that after plan a lot easier and ended up costing them 4 players for none of Navi's.
So once again, Navi not really having to adjust. We will still see again Guardian in the back of the B site, so a little bit different, just trying to keep him moving around. Has Mousesports even at one point come through those B tunnels? I'm not sure that they have. They tried to go mid to B. I'm not sure if it was even a split though.
Yeah. No, they are fully giving up Cat, and it's, for me, hard to say if they're anticipating this. Navi as a team obviously pride themselves on the retakes, and having Long control is a great way. It's less of a gamble because typically teams will split Cat and Long, but I feel like Mousesports know that Cat is being given up to them and they're going to get a free plant. Since Navi has such a dominant retake, they want to perform a similar strategy, but if they plant for Cat and actually play from it, if they had a player green box, that would lock this round up. But because they don't have that, I'm not sure I have faith.
It can be hard to hold, like you said, unless you actually plan for Long, take Long control, plan for Cat, take Cat control. It's so difficult. There's not enough room in the site for anyone to actually sit. Still 3 on Cat right now for Mousesports. It'll be Chris J to stay in the site with that jump scout, and he will spot one in the pit. Gabi gonna bring down C's. Dennison next, gonna take Edward out. And Guardian now bringing down Gabi, trying to reach out and find that op. Spitty shutting down Zeus. This time not gonna let him get up Cat on that retake. Guardian and Flamey having to back off is now faced with that 2v4 in Mousesports. I mean, time after time after time going up that catwalk. Finally, they're able to get the bomb down and hold on, getting out to 5 rounds.
It's pretty incredible that like Gob just knows Cat wide open. Like, 3 rounds in a row. Navi are going to leave Cat open. Yeah. Let's go there and get set up for this A-take. And they're going to play, let's get in a retake server and play retake with Navi. And Navi are like, yeah, let's play retake. We got 3. They had 3 in B. That means they weren't anticipating Cat to be taken. But at the same time, they're confident in the retake because they had 2 at long and were at least hoping for one person to come up long. So that's a 5v4 when they go for the retake. But Mousesports did the exact same thing and went 5 up Cat. I think completely caught them off guard. And yeah, instead of playing from the plat that after plant, playing from Cat itself made that so much easier for them to win.
Guardian taking down Gabi early on in the round. Good grenades going out though, trying to clear out that corner, expecting Zeus to be there perhaps. And of course, we know that he is. We're still watching him, see if he can bring him down. No, Dennis, whether he saw him or just decided to spray the corner of that smoke, he finds the frag to even it right back up. Edward and Guardian pulling out the double ops. Let's see, Spitty finds one of them. He takes down Edward. Flamey holding on, though, finding 2. Chris J to find C is pushing up. He's got to get Flamey out of this Goose position, or actually Spitty does it for him, but Guardian now shooting him in the back. 1-on-1, P250. Is it gonna be settled with another jumping shot? The 1v1 cam's coming out. Guardian switches in for that AK. Spitty tossing that nade. Bomb not yet planted. 40 seconds on the clock. Spitty going for it now. He's actually going to go for the fake. He wants to try to get this. Let's see. Jumping up on the box is going for the aggression, but Guardian shuts it down. It's a 10-5 half for Navi here on Mousesports' pick of Dust 2.
Yeah, well played by Guardian, that 1v1, who just had a lot of patience. Speedy is a player who doesn't like to plant the bomb. Guardian is also a player who doesn't like to plant the bomb in 1v1s. He likes to find the fight first, and I guess those styles matched up perfectly, as one of them did have to plant the bomb. Yeah, that's Navi. That's Navi coming in with 10 rounds. Mousesports looking like they had a better chance to get more rounds than they did. Ended up only with 5. Not the worst half ever. Could have been better, but considering their status, I think in Navi's eyes, pretty good overall.
So again, looking at the box score, They set the pace. They looked very strong coming off that pistol round in the following 2. Then we had the streak of 5 where it was 5 rounds, Navi only losing 5 players. Didn't look so promising for Mousesports there. They get a one-off win. Then we had some closer rounds, more closely contested. Round 14, another one-off win, so up to 5. 5 is like bare minimum quota here. If Mousesports, like on Overpass, can turn around, get that pistol out again, and start off strong on that CT side.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? It was 12-3, right, in favor of Navi on Overpass?
Mm-hmm.
So now they can easily get into the double digits, maybe put a bit more pressure on Navi coming in late on Dust 2.
And on Overpass, they gave it the first pistol, won the second one, right? And started to come back from there. In this half, they lose a pistol, they'll be a little bit worse off than they were on the first map. But since they have the 5-round buffer, that might neutralize that. So if they do win the pistol, they might have a really good chance to win the game. We saw this exact same scoreline versus Cloud9. I don't know if you just brought that up. But Mousesports on the T side, no, it was actually on the CT side that they only got 5 rounds, and then on T side got 10. They did end up closing it out, getting 6 rounds on CT, so we don't know how many more they would have gotten if it were the case that Cloud9 actually came back anymore, but should be a force to be reckoned with on CT.
Yeah, I mean, even just getting the pistols, because in that case, you just have statistics on your side. You've won both pistols. You should win the map.
Yeah.
But you're, on LAN, and with this roster for Mousesports, maybe a bit, obviously inexperienced on LAN. They've only had one, the Gfinity Summer 1 it was, where they had some surprising results. Taking map off Envious, taking down VP twice, but now the first time playing Navi. I mean, we didn't really see an adjustment, right? Maybe it was just a timeout, a pump-up speech from Gob B, because they just kept going back to that cat, and it did work out at least one more time for them.
Yeah, no, but they made the adjustments. Like, with the one round they went up cat, it was really like they went up with their heads cut off, right? They planted the bomb. They defended a cat plant when they had full cat control from the sight boxes.
Yeah.
Tried to kill people at long. Yeah, and then that round was after the pause, but they even made adjustments from there, and they made a lot more sense. I mean, they're fundamental decisions. I mean, I feel like Mousesports might be just a little bit worried.
Yeah, I mean, they have definitely the reasons for it, right? You're trailing one of the best teams in the world right now.
But you wouldn't be worried if you knew you were going to lose, right?
What do you mean, if you already know?
If you already know you're going to lose.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's no reason there.
Maybe they're worried they're going to win.
They're truly competitors. They know they're going up against one of the best teams in the world. Thorn's got them at number 3 right now. The results, though, speaking for themselves over the last couple weeks of these tournaments, being involved in quite a few finals, really coming together as a roster. So, it is going to be tough for Mousesports. Even with Navi looking yesterday kind of shaky, like going with some CS against Tempo Storm that left some of us scratching our heads a little bit.
Yeah.
Going to 3 maps, I don't know if it's just an off day, maybe some jet lag catching up to them, maybe not trying to reveal anything, and just they felt that they could take Tempo down.
Guardian said they hit headshots, and that,
I mean, Tempo do have some incredible aimers.
Yeah, I mean, that is their team. And now, Guardian himself said they were, like, arguing a lot on their CT side. They're losing to a team that they've never heard of, right?
Yeah.
Tier 55, as HLT would say.
Maybe they watch Hearthstone. They might know the org.
These are, like, players who are all very good. None of them choked on LAN. They played extremely well.
Yeah.
And they had Warden standing right behind him. Obviously a legend in the game with a ton of experience.
Definitely.
That could offer up the strategies to beat a team like Navi, and it ended up being the case.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are into the second half. Navi with 10, Mousesports on 5, flipping over to the CT side, see if they can once again set the pace. They go 4 Kevlar, got 2 flashes and a defuse there on Gob B. 4 Kevlars and a smoke for Navi.
Yep. Now again, Mousesports extremely good on these pistol rounds. Gabi, the only one getting the kit flash because he's got a bunch of aimers on his team who all like to shoot laser beams. Chris J is going to be looking into lower and might find that first fight with Flamey, though it depends how he's peeking and drawing a... Okay, getting ready for all jumps, I think. Oh, and it works.
It. I think maybe he was putting a signature onto lower B real quick. It's like Zorro. I like it. I don't know what he'd write. Would it be a J or a CJ? Who knows? Anyways, Guardian working his way up. His team now at a disadvantage of 1 player. Guardian trying to find him. Gob B going to bring down Flamey, and now Mitty helping out with the long cross. Chris J getting one there. Seized. Well, actually getting both of them coming up cat. Still a man down. Chris J is low, and they're going to fall back off. 50 seconds on the round. Are they going to come through middle? Dennis is here waiting for them. It'll be a tough shot if he just wants to delete somebody off the map. Could still get information if he spots one. And there it is. He takes the shot over Xbox and seized his down. Bomb down with him. 3-on-1 now for Guardian. He has turned himself into that raid boss with the Tech 9 he's picked up. Has Kevlar. And even a smoke. So maybe if he gets one more frag, hit a smoke down. Actually, he'll use the smoke for middle there. Going to try to run up to go up towards window quick enough. He can maybe find that 1v1 in B. But instead, he's going to push through and go for the maybe more unexpected play. Chris Che there, though, to finish him off. 3K for him. Once again, Mousesports with the pistol on their CT side.
Yeah, the thing about that smoke, right, was that they could see over it. So that's why it didn't actually cause any rotation. So it looked kind of like a crazy play for Guardian to try to pull off. I understand the thought process, though. If you put that smoke down, then they're going to think about rotating. It's obviously going to be some sort of type of mid to B. He might know there's 2 players at A, 1 at B, so he could probably just go there. And if he just hung out for maybe a second more, he could have gotten away with sneaking through it, but ended up hitting a nice headshot to start it off.
Chris Che behind Guardian with that scout headshot early on here. So once again, the scout coming out and being so effective for the side of Mousesports, shutting down the force of Navi once again. So very likely that Mousesports now, unless Zeus has something to say about it, will take the first 3 of the second half just based off of this one here. Chris Che ready to throw that nade. Not doing too much damage, but pushes them back for at least a couple more seconds.
They are all, none of them are one shot at this moment. I mean, they all have armor. They might actually, the scout
Flamey and Zeus
might
are right
kill
on the
them.
borderline.
Yeah. Right on the brink of one-hit territory for Chris J, who will see all the action as they will attempt to cross Cat, it seems like. Grouped up right now, 40 seconds remaining. Kiting with the scout, taking 1 bullet is Edward. And now, yeah, Chris does take one down. 1 shot. Is going to go for another. Knows he needs to stay alive to maintain presence. And have
jumping and blind. What a scout. Scout J, we got it. You saw it here. 3 kills for him and looking for another. Does find the assist on that one. Spitty, we can see some frustration there on the faces of Navi.
Just noticing the after image of Edward crossing plat there. Dumping scout with the flick.
And there's Chris J, the one hitting the shots on that round. That'll put Navi onto the full eco. Very low percentage chance to win these rounds. Still an up on the field with Gomb B, 3A1S's, and that scout.
And yeah, Mousesports have secured that round. And it's like, this is exactly what happened to Cloud9, where Mousesports came back from a 10-5 scoreline. It was on the opposite half, but just looking at how many rounds they need to win, if they pull this off, since it was a force up from Navi and they don't get a bomb down, it's not going to be a great buy next round. They'll have a great opportunity to put them back on a save, and then all of a sudden they're equalized.
Gob B finding the first kill of the round there, the pop flash over the wall and the retreat out. Chris J jumping from car over that retaining wall. Spitty supporting, he's gonna find 2. Chris J again, I think he tagged him up to the corner of the wall. Again, jump scouting, and he'll take the head off of Zeus just like that. So dominating scout performances, and now such a key round coming up here. The first rifle for Navi. But this is where Mousesports can take it, force him to a save, and tie it up. It's a 2-for-1 for the tie.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a 2-for right here. It's only incentive based. You know, if Mousesports don't win it, they still can buy. But if they do win it, it could mean the difference between winning and losing this game.
God, he stays on the scout. The confidence. Guardian now peeking through, is blind. Chris J still trying to fight this battle against arguably the best. Well, Guardian, we saw him try to the first half. And he gets the shot onto Chris J.
But there's a thing, right? He only took down a scout. It's really not that big a deal.
Next in a position to make a difference. We'll peek forward. The trade there, though, for Navi. So still Mousesports fighting from a man down. 3-on-4 from their perspective. Sees. That was a bit of a jumping AK right there. Perhaps landed. 4-on-2 now, and it looks like the key round will be going the way of Navi. Only Gomb and Speedy up. Gomb, can he strike here? No, Edward will bring him down.
That was a key kill for sure. Now from what could have been a 2-on-3, it's now a 4-on-1. But I feel like C's there just sitting up middle. Navi were committed to sitting there for at least another 40 seconds for Mousesports to make a mistake, and Speedy peaked like 2 seconds later and gave him that frag. So in an attempt to equalize, they don't maintain composure, and Mousesports end up throwing away the man advantage and the round on this 2-for.
Yeah, we see Speedy still on the catwalk. Zeus swaps out for that AK. And, well, no armor on him, actually. Taking that aim punch. Spitty will find the kill. He's going to get tagged up, falling back off with 17 HP now. Still trying to save into the next round. If you take a look at the money for the CT side, probably still have enough, I would think, to try to force it up. They're very solid rounds, the first 3. Yeah, this should be good, especially with that gun being saved.
Oh, yeah, Chris only investing in that scout, it's a huge deal.
And he will find himself an op with armor.
Off with armor, Jay.
Exactly. Maybe we'll see the battle. And Flamey, is Flamey expecting a force, or was he just broke? Because Flamey's gone for an MP7.
Oh, Dennis gets tagged crossing mid. And yeah, Flamey only with that MP7. That's curious.
He might be expecting 5-7 armor coming out from Mousesports. Maybe doesn't have quite the read he would have thought on their money. Look at CEVO.
Running all the way out. Mid going to exploit this mid and B completely. Oh, but Chris, too aware Jay is going to get a shot off on him.
Saving the day. Dennis now holding down from that back plat. C's is still up at the headshot box. He'll bring down Gabi, but there's Chris J with the wallbang headshot onto C's. 3-on-2 man advantage. Zeus coming in with that AK. Keep in mind, Flamey's still on an MP7 right here in the 2-on-2. Also a FAMAS there. Let's see what they can do.
Do they know Flamey's here or not?
No,
they don't.
This is
He's creeping up on them with the MP7 from CT. He has the power to change this entire round.
He does. He's not going to get too aggressive either. He hasn't actually spotted them. Maybe he hears them.
Oh, I love how he's just cutting this off.
Oh, they're starting to turn around and check this. Now Chris J looking towards long, so he could actually flick down to Flamey. No, now he's going to get caught off guard completely. Flamey takes him down. There is the immediate trade from Spitty. He's going to, doesn't quite pop flash, didn't have momentum behind it. And as we know, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Zeus coming up long on this cross right now into the 1v1 camps. Spitty's still looking at the B double doors. Zeus now planting and going for that long plant.
Spitty's third time in a clutch is 1-for-1 right now. 1-1 versus C's, lost 1 versus Guardian, and is now in clutch with Zeus.
He doesn't know 100% what side it is yet. I think he's got his, he'll pick right.
It's tough on land.
Going over towards. All right, Spitty, can he hit the shot? We've just got, he's planted 4 long, so if the bomb is spotted, it doesn't matter! He goes for information, and Spitty just deletes him right there for the defuse, for the 9th round. And there you go.
Wow, nice shot. Well played. It's actually 2-for-1 now in his clutch situations, being a pivotal member of the team. And, again, is regarded as like a support player. You got to have ice water in your veins to win 1v1s like those. Now, Mousesports are actually 2 away from equalizing. Have a fairly decent economy, except for Chris is back on a scout. But that's a similar buy for
Next gets
Navi.
Tagged early on, and they're still trying to cross.
And he just traded out for the FAMAS.
That's what it was.
Makes sense.
So a bit of a risk there, trying to run back in front of Guardian's crosshair one more time. Okay, so early damage. We can see the 2-on-2 setup. Gombi, though, on that catwalk, getting a bit aggressive. He'll throw that smoke, make them kind of wonder about what's going on if he's pushing up in that. Make them a bit nervous, perhaps. It's probably hard to make Navi nervous on land, but maybe he's going to slow him down just with that one smoke. They'll have to go up and re-clear Cat, at least.
Have you ever looked Edward in the eyes?
No, I have not.
He's never been nervous.
I can't stop looking at his beard. It's really tough. All right, so it looks like they are kind of trying to fall back here, moving another player towards long on the side of Navi, trying to go for a 3-2 split onto the A site. We do have, though, still Spitty up in the pit.
Who am I looking at here? Oh, that's Gob and CT. Okay. So this is the 2-1-2 that is going to be easily exploitable by an A take, but Gob is not going to fall for this. Is definitely committing to the A play, but one player sneaking out mid, making some presence, going to pull him straight away, and Navi are getting the best of this trade.
Flash goes out behind him, Chris J. Still with that scout, and of course, as mentioned, jumping behind this box is like Guardian's gonna know. Chris J able to bring down Zeus. He gets the headshot out to Guardian! Gabi to bring down C's. It's a 3-on-2 right now as Flamey finding 2 kills there. Coming up from long along with Edward, but the time it's run out and it's Mousesports up to 10. Saving some weapons. Navi again gonna have a bit of a eclectic round in terms of their weaponry, and round of applause for Chris J.
Get annihilated. That was unreal. I know when we were looking at Guardian, Chris J jumped for the first time, and then something popped out on the kill feed. I thought Chris J died, right?
Yeah, I thought Chris J died too.
And then he gets a kill, and then he jumps up one more time and shoots the guy we're looking at. Oh my goodness. Just obliterated. That's huge. His accuracy today is just through the roof. He is like missed. I haven't seen him miss a shot.
He really hasn't, yeah. We saw he tagged 3 people in a row at the scout earlier on the T side. Just absolutely insane. Had hit 4 people on that round, had 4 assists just to start things off. So that's crazy. Edward, is he pushing that smoke? No, he will fall back. Not going to go in for that longhouse control yet. Spitty once again anchoring the pit. Do we have Gombi up on? No, it's actually Chris J playing the close angle on the catwalk. And Gombi supporting with that pop flash from the A side. Nicely done, Chris J. Just can't talk about him enough, man. Hitting another shot.
Nope. Oh my god.
And another shot. There's 2.
Just farming at the moment. And they are just peeking him one at a time, trying to bait out a shot, but that's not gonna be enough. There is no peek that he will not be able to find the better of, it seems like. And Edward just on the corner of that smoke. Looks like neither of them saw each other.
Yeah, some bullets were exchanged.
And oh my, this is actually a buy. This is a buy?
Yeah, they were forcing up because they saved 2 guns.
2 players had no armor. Okay, yeah, so they saved 2 guns and didn't buy armor on the other 2, so on the other 3, excuse me.
So still, like, I guess somewhat of a shot on the round with the weaponry, but now that it's 5-on-3 with Chris J having brought those opening shots and a third right here.
Wow, look at the
through the box. That's 4 now for Chris J. Can they feed him the ace? He wants it. He's hungry. Edward over towards those B tunnels, though, and probably going to get picked up by somebody else here on those the CT authorities. Dennis coming in, kind of has announced his presence, that barrel to be spotted, peeking while spraying, not maybe the best approach. And Dennis finds it. Chris J right there.
Clip it. Clip it.
Clip it.
That
last shot through the sight box, absolutely insane.
He didn't need to hit it, right?
No.
Like, no one would have noticed if he missed that shot. It would have been completely fine. We would have moved on. They would have won the round, and Chris would have still looked like a fantastic opper. But he still had to hit it. 24
kills for Chris J. Yep. Top in the server right now. Who is it for Navi? We've got Zeus up at 19, actually. And it's tied, 11-11. Still the round, not a lot of smokes. We know that Navi like to take these rounds slow, throw out the smokes for their executes, but they're not having that. Seas, though, has effectively worked himself out of middle quite often. Next, though, spotting, and is going to try to shut it down. Will he go for the window peek? No, moves into the backside. Molotov the doors prior to this. 5v5. And Navi with a big split coming on. Flamey gets the entry onto Dennis. He's coming in through the window. Will go down. Next is actually going to fall too. And a fourth here in the back of the site, bringing down Edward and destroying the hopes of Navi on this round. And can he go for the ace? He gets it! Next stepping up as well, and Mousesports is turning it on here on Dust 2, taking the lead.
Woo! Look at the face of Next right now.
Into it. That's like, wow, like get deflated,
right? It's just
right?
pissed off that he had to use 15 bullets.
And they go for the timeout. You got the 4K from Chris J. The ace comes out from Next in the next round, and immediately they go for the timeout.
Oh my God. Do I have an extra pair of pants up here?
Production, we need new pants. Thank you. So we can see them talking it over right there. Not looking too heated yet, but are still, of course, in this timeout, thinking about things here, what they could change up, how they can even account for Chris J and Nex.
That was unbelievable. That fourth one tap, just unreal. Like you got 2 kills in the first spray, second kill in the window with the last bullet on that spray, transferred into another headshot in the third guy, and the fourth one tap, beautiful. Like.
We've actually seen quite a few doubles from the back site. People trying to come through windows so quickly, like one after another, and there's been a few spray downs. But yeah, the third kill and especially that fourth were just absolutely insane. And the fifth one with so much momentum, he didn't even have to try for that last one. So we can see there's only one. It was that first rifle, which we did highlight as a very key round. Navi won it, but able to strike back were Mousesports, and they've got 7-1 so far in this second half.
Do I have to say it? Thank you, best play.
I don't think so at this point. It's pretty obvious that both of those rounds should be the BenQ best plays right there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Next was actually really quiet before that, right? He just got 5 kills, and now he's at a total of 11.
Yeah. He just aced for the bottom frag.
Yeah. That's such a statistic right there. Ace to get into the bottom fragging position. But yeah, still, it just doesn't even matter. That's why you can look at CS and say kills don't matter, right? You step up like that, you've dropped the other team's morale, I would say, pretty significantly after a play of that proportion.
Yeah, and
I think just now we're coming out of the pause, actually.
And that's the real reason Next look pissed is because they, after that kind of momentum, you don't want to have to wait to carry it over into the next round, which they have earned themselves.
That's what timeouts are for in sports. I mean,
right.
I think it's reasonable, but I can understand the frustration. So Navi what's that money that they do kind of force up? Gobby going aggressive off of the catwalk. Does find one. A lot of damage inflicted to Edwards. Sees though going to find next. He tries to assist. Gombi finished his kill with that grenade actually. So 4-on-3 right now. AK though picked up from, or by Flamey rather. Look at this from middle, still fighting. Do find another frag there. Dennis going to bring down Flamey, and now it is only Guardian with that P250. Finds an AK. A minute on the clock and 3 CTs still up. He'll find the bomb. He'll work out towards the A site. He could find the plant.
Yeah,
I mean,
he can just go put the bomb down right now.
Does he have the read of where these players are?
We got Gobby holding T-spawn. Or no, Chris J holding T-spawn. And no one's even close to this bomb. What is going on right now?
Yeah, this is actually... I saw some 1v3s.
This is actually winnable.
I've seen some things yesterday in the Team Liquid CLG match. But now the Molotov coming in, going to force Guardian out into a great spot. He's still doing a lot of damage. This rotation has taken a while. There are kits though on these CT players, and Dennis will do it. Mousesports going to be taking a 2-round lead now.
Yeah, critical 2-round lead. Does it matter that they got the bomb down? Yeah, it does. I mean, they now have like quite a bit more money. I don't think it's going to be like a 2-op situation or anything like that, but the fact that they have that extra 800 per on all their members can make a difference. Mousesports have a lead here, but more than certainly wouldn't have let that bomb go down if they knew Guardian was just free roaming up Cat. And here in this situation, if they win this round, I don't know if that's going to actually, whoa, get them a bye. God dang, Guardian with the headshot through the door.
Yeah, they were using that HE, the smoke that goes up for just a brief second to cover that cross, but it didn't matter. Guardian knows those timings, and he takes him down. So early man advantage for Navi, kind of exactly how they wanted to start this round out. And now going for the long control, forcing those players back. And no longer Chris J. Can't really feel too safe at that position for much longer. Spitty's got to be communicating that he's given it up completely. Chris J now rotates over to cover up that long since he's got the op. Is Navi falling back though? Are they even going to deposit a player? No, it's a full reversal for them. And you can see the bomb sliding through T-spawn, going back over towards Flamey, who's been holding on to those tunnels.
He would never expect this. Actually, Zeus is trading places with them, just wants to maintain long presence. He can do a lot from here, right? Once you have control of long, you can sit here for the whole round, wait for your teammates to go 4-up Cat, or you can just go super late and then flank. But it looks like he's just going to throw a smoke from there while they execute into B, and it was the pull of rotation, but it looks like Mousesports are a little bit too aware of this, throwing their Molotovs in and are going to look to shoot.
Oh, next from the car, does find one. Was he spotted? He's going to get one more at least. Navi, though, having hit the initial shot through the door at the start of the round, have that man advantage. Spitty rotating over. Is he going to be able to find the shot? No, Zeus with a quick double. And Navi right back on the board. Mousesports had some great momentum, but it's still, I think, going to be quite difficult to close this out up against Navi.
Gob cannot be confused. Like, they took long, they had it. You don't have eyes on long. You have no idea what's going on there. A smoke is thrown for the cross. 2 players from Mousesports go into the B site. Like, the only reason that play would work with Zeus is because he called it.
From their Cap player.
Is because he had so little indecision that he called that rotate like immediately, right? Yeah. Run back to tunnels right now, get into B. There was no way we'd be there this soon. I don't know. The Cap player might have heard them falling off long, but that doesn't mean that you didn't escort a player there so that you could go up Cat.
So that you could split, exactly, yeah. So that's a good point to bring up. And actually, it could have been Mousesports' round based on that call if they hadn't had a man go down early to Guardian. So it's very big that Guardian stepped up and hit that shot.
Yeah.
So about 40 seconds on the clock right now, and they both give each other a gift. Yeah, 20 HP for Chris. Guardian a little bit more unlucky, down to 1. Edward waiting, any pushing coming out here. Doesn't look like they're going to quite give it to him.
It seemed like Mousesports felt like this would be a good round to push long. We saw them do that a couple times when it started to quiet down for Cloud9, and they anticipated that they would be working through some sort of default. But here, it's going to be Edward to push out late, it looks like.
Yeah, he's got a smoke, I think, to cover that corner. But it's not going to matter. We can see Spitty playing that off angle on the door. Hoping someone comes through, not going to be the case. Chris J, it's going to be up to him. There's some smoke coverage to allow Zeus to get out. And oh no, Chris J doesn't take the shot. Zeus finds it. And now Navi storming out onto this site. And CT players coming up, but it's not a good position to retake from. Doesn't matter, Gombi still hits one shot. Can't get all the way back into CT spawn. Next there though for the trade, 3-on-3. Keep in mind, Guardian on 1 HP. They're waiting for Edward. Very good read there. Again, the trade's coming. 2-on-2. Guardian from behind now. Spitty coming up as well. So many perfect trades coming onto this, but the after plant, it's going to hold. Flamey locks it down, ties it back up.
Huge round, huge round. That was a very close. Like the trades came out. C's actually took a huge risk there by peering over the rim into CT, and got a player, got traded out instantly by Nex. And I don't know what alluded them to realizing that Zeus was on a flank through mid, but that was way too smart. Like they looked behind him and yeah, just expected it.
Some great
got that
CS
kill
right now.
Yeah, it's looking like people are sharp today.
Got a good night's rest. Got that good breakfast. We've already talked about breakfast a little bit today.
Yeah, Dennis on them pancakes.
Yep. So Eco coming for Mousesports. Navi with a very solid opportunity to take that lead back and very close to the full regulation 30 right here into round 27. And that means the pressure is really going to be on with Mousesports giving up the lead at this point in the match.
Hey, look at the posturing towards mid right now. It's the eco round, and we saw this on Cloud9. They had such a great time ecoing Mousesports by getting up close mid. And here we have a player at close doors. That's Chris J, as well as a player supporting him. Moving over towards B. And we just see the mind reading going on. They know what's up.
Yeah, well, now the Molotov's coming out trying to clear those spots. Next goes with the 5-7. They're going to find 2. Can he get a third? Looks like B will be cleared out.
Oh, but the flank, Chris J.
3-on-3. Yeah, they're going to find it. Oh, it doesn't quite bring him down yet. Edward and Chris J here in a bit of a battle. Aim duel in the tunnels. Edward's actually just going to drop out, let his players on platform deal with it. Bomb has not gone down yet. Navi's got plenty of time, still trying to find these kills and get through this round. And Edward, there he goes. 1, turns around, finds a second. Actually 3 overall on the round, and Navi they're in the lead. But for a full-on eco, I mean, yes, there was some 5-7s there, but that was you know, maybe a bit nerve-wracking for Navi.
Yeah, Navi have maintained the lead for most of this game and finally taken it back after Mousesports had it for a brief period of time, and now are fighting to get on match point. Mousesports have a great buy going on. Chris J doesn't have much in terms of nades, head armor. They maybe don't have the best luxury pistols, but there's no excuse for them. They can win this round, and they need to. They do that, they can equalize. Navi will be able to buy again, but if they lose, they won't be able to buy again. This could be it.
Look at Chris J. Let's see how long he wants to hold out here on that catwalk. See if anyone's going to jump up on Xbox. Doesn't quite see him there. That's Chris J. Chris J's not going to be seeing those floating names, so it doesn't quite see him.
Probably just called that he hit him anyway. How many shots he's hit.
Just shoots at a wall. I think I got somebody, guys.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. All right, so coming out mid, slow and unannounced, right? There's no smoke that's gone down here. And as a result, Guardian able to catch off Gone B, just kind of jumping around. Not prepared for that at all. Now the smoke will come. Will they even commit to it? No, they get that pick, and now they're just going to play the mind games a bit. God B is down, so he can actually put more thinking into this, and no rotations at all from Mousesports.
They've dealt with the setup before in Cloud9. Chris J, the new op to deal with it. Last round, he wasn't able to get a kill. He was very low. Chris J gonna have to pick up the slack at long. He's gonna find that frag.
Evens it
Huge
up.
Flick.
This is 3-on-3 right now. Next from the ramp. Bomb's gonna go down. It is planted for Cat. No one able to find any of these post-plant positions though. Still trying to fall back. Next vision blocked by that Molotov. Trying to spin the side box. He gets a double. Making the triple headshots, bringing everybody down, and that's it. Navi, they can't find any post-plant positions, and they get caught lining up on the fallback.
Who is this guy?
He's Nex.
Oh my god.
He needs to add a J to his name. Imagine.
Real Next J.
Next J. 14-14.
Yeah.
We have to see 30 now.
I think in Germany, this guy is regarded as like the greatest talent that has come around for a long time. Obviously, with Trouble out of it.
Maybe the world pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's like. I said this before. Like he gets like op KDAs with a rifle, and has headshots to match. So those are fantastic rounds.
Oh, Guardian,
wow,
though.
Guardian though just doesn't care. Like he's not going to be shaken at all. It's just going to be able to have it just as much impact round by round as he needs to, as long as his team is able to match up to it. Next, flashing himself into B is going to look to take a fight, take control of the site once again, and actually has to go down. So Gob now in the back of the site goes down as well.
So Chris J and Spitty, the only ones up. Take a look at the money. They can't afford this, and this is really rough. Guardian once again comes down to a key round. He had a shot through the doors earlier on to get the lead back. Some heroics once more by Nex, tied up, and then Guardian starts off around, shot through the door.
Yeah. Now people are throwing that nade to cross. It's like not enough when you got like eagle eyes,
Yeah,
like
well,
Chris
it's the
J
timing,
or
because you don't have any time for extra coverage. So you know as soon as you see that, you know, smoke, debris, whatever, bloom up, that they have to be crossing it, and he just keeps aiming a little bit left into that door, and he's hitting the shot like every time they do it.
Yeah.
So this save is very important for Mousesports.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're starting to kind of get pinched here.
Yeah.
And that smoke is saying, hey, we're in pit.
Yeah, I mean, they know that Navi had more than enough time to clear most of the map, and we'll just have to take fights here. Chris J is going to be the first one to take a duel. Does some damage, turns around, does some more, and that's Speedy finding a kill as well. Finds a third one. Whoa, Chris J, will he be able to stay alive with the op in the pit? And he finds out frag. He does it.
I've never seen so much cheering for CT saving guns. I know it was important.
Helium.
It was intense.
And now they're going to go into the last round. Will this op have as much impact as it needs to? Navi haven't like committed to a full cross on cat versus 5 players when they needed to. But yeah, this is a pretty ugly buy overall.
But Spitty with his P90, right? He does some crazy things with this gun. There are still some 5.7s. Next did find a double, almost a triple in B with his 5.7 in a previous round. But you would say, looking at the equipment value here, Navi also with some momentum. Chris J, though, moving on the catwalk. It's up to his op. Can he find a shot here? No, he'll miss! That's rough. Zeus, Guardian finding the kills. Now it's just Next, Dennis, and Gob B alive. Guardian's still there, very, very healthy as well. Gob trying to go for the heroics, but it doesn't work out. Flamey gets him next, 1 kill for him, but that's all they'll find on the round. And that's gonna be 16-14. You can see him getting pumped up there. First time we've really seen some emotion there coming out. The series winners, Navi, moving on here from these semifinals into the finals. Taking the 2-0. Pretty tight there in Dust 2 as expected. They dominated on their overpass.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we saw some incredible plays from Mousesports, but they are out of it.
They look defeated, and I think they need some cheers because that was quite an exciting game where we had players come to play. So let's give it up for Mouse.
Give it for Mousesports. And there it is, very mannered. The classic good game, well played. The handshakes, everybody. Very nice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I mean, not going home empty-handed. It is $10,000 for the 3rd to 4th, which is what Mousesports has earned themselves. So it's another pretty solid result going up against one of the best, a team they have not played before. Maybe not a lot of time to research them as they didn't know exactly who they would face. We know that Gob B is a good strategic player, can do that research and find it. Similar to all the talk and buzz around Sean Garris and how he gets it done with research.
Yeah. No, there's so many similarities between these two teams, right? And today we saw in Dust 2 the machine that was the head being Gob B and, you know, the biceps being Nex and Chris J.
Definitely. The
being well-oiled. Like, everybody was doing their part. Speedy was the man who ended up in the clutches and won the majority of them. All pivotal rounds, obviously. And it was like Chris J having such a high game impact, like keeping up with Guardian, who, by the way, was never sleeping, right?
No,
even though Chris J would have 2 or 3 kill rounds, Guardian would just get that frag every single time as well, and constantly put the pressure on. Next, obviously, another player just had a standout performance versus a team, probably the best team they played on LAN, I want to say.
Yeah,
well,
I would think so.
Yeah, so.
And wow, I think the analysis desk is going to have it easy. They're just going to have like 10 BenQ best plays to go over because there were so many individual heroics and just crazy step-up plays in this series, and that's something we haven't really seen throughout the tournament so far. But, you know, coming down to the semifinals where the pressure is fully and completely on, you know, people started to step up. Unfortunately, we'll see a solid team out. Mousesports, Navi moving forward. But let's go down to the desk, see what the guys have to say about this. So again, I'm going to check, make sure I get it right. It's going to be Scoots, Chico, and Thorn. Guys, take it away.
Thank you, gentlemen. Well, there you have it. Navi does close it out in 2, although, again, got really close at the end. We got a bunch of highlights we will get to on this one. Again, it seemed like kind of old-school Counter-Strike. Mousesports wins the pistol. Normal economies the next 2 rounds, so they win the next 2. Then Navi gets some guns on them and says, yeah, that's cool, we gave you the first Q, and then they start their roll.
No, yeah, I mean, Navi got off to a really good start after losing pistol. I think they were down 3-0, and they brought it back to 10-5 for first half. And then Mousesports, like, we saw an amazing performance from Chris J. Like, that was insane. And also, we had that great run from Nex in the site. I think he had, like, at that moment, he had 11 kills after that round. So he had 6 kills going into that round, aced 11 kills. Just really, I mean, you saw, like, a really nice one-shot. nice AK spray, next, really proving himself.
Yeah, the problem is Mousesports couldn't really get it going enough on the T side. They had their issues because, yeah, they got the nice start, 3-0, but as soon as you got the AWPs in Guardian's hands and you kept the AWP there, they were always able to just shut them down, basically. It wasn't the kind of Dust 2 performance we saw against Cloud9 from Mousesports. Now, once they switched over, it's true, Chris J kept them in the game, basically. He kept giving them a chance. Nex had that amazing ace that I'm sure we're going to see later. That was pretty spectacular. But even with all of that, Navi just edged them. And like I said, though, this was going to be the map, though. Like, this could have been a Mousesports win. This was always going to be the most competitive map. But it's not like it's a bad map for Navi. Navi can play this map.
I think also we have to give a lot of props to Guardian. Like on that T side, he was picking somebody like almost every single round.
Or tagging him every time. Yeah.
Almost every single time. Like you can't win when you're already going down 45 before you even see anybody.
Well, that's why I say even if it's not the strongest map for Navi, it's always going to be a Guardian map for that reason. He's just exceptional at those shots on the door.
Well, we do have a bunch of replays, so let's go up and cue round 21. And to talk about how good Mousesports did, all these highlights are from Mousesports players.
Yep.
So, and they lost, so that says a lot. So round 21 was Chris J with his scout. Crazy stuff.
And you look at this buy they have here, you'd expect this is going to be a loss for the Mousesports guys. He's got one jumping already, then he dies.
So he actually jumped, killed the first guy, and then Guardian was holding with an op. Jump killed him, headshot.
And obviously killing Guardian significantly going to put a dent in the attack of Navi.
And then right after that, Chris J again, next round, 4K. Also in really solid work here.
Obviously, it's a hard angle to take. At some point, you're going to have to fall back unless you hit every shot. At the moment, it's going great. Drops down. Navi, another normal Navi T side as well, where you don't get bombs down every now and then. You're always going in on 25 seconds, 30 seconds. You always probe, but then pull back. It was pretty much fairly by the numbers from Navi. And like as you see from the highlights, it was mainly like really good plays from the Mousesports guys that was keeping them in it.
Looks
and
like
obviously
Edward.
something
Looks
has
like
gone wrong here. So that's the end of that play.
All right, so there's that one. The next one we're going to get, we'll let the guys give them a few minutes to queue it up. But again, this is the next two are next. This one is that BenQ best play. It's our
This one was really good.
It is that ace in round 23. Crazy stuff. I might be throwing production. Nope, I thought maybe I might be hurting. There you go.
So there's the first one. That one there, that just one. He doesn't even fire an extra bullet. That's like when you're a really sick aimer. Sometimes they're just like, no, that bullet already hit him. So they're moving on to the next guy. And I mean, you just saw the accuracy he had there. It was just phenomenal. And look at his face there. He's like, why haven't I done that every single round?
He didn't seem very happy about it, really.
It also pushed Navi to take their tactical timeout right after that round, too.
Yeah.
So you knew.
Which worked.
Yeah, and you know that Navi was not happy about that round at all.
Yeah, and again, you mentioned timeout, and it worked. It was accurate. It was a good time to call. And then last replay is round 28, also next. Ends up with a 3K.
I think this is the one where
threw production out of the bus on that
he's
one.
inside the B site on this one, I think. No? Okay. Oh, he sprays two guys out from over this box here.
Yeah, they line up.
Yeah. Again, these are all headshots, remember. He's never like spraying onto them. It's on the head first, then he's spraying down. It's really, really accurate. I mean, he didn't, overall, that's what's crazy there. I've made this point in the past, like, those two rounds he had a crazy impact on, but actually the rest of his kills, he was one of the guys actually I think suffered a little bit in this series. He never really was the big impact player, but obviously those two rounds pretty much won single-handedly.
Yeah.
Final thoughts on this matchup?
I mean, this is why you can't judge just off form, because Mousesports look fantastic coming into this series. Navi had even struggled with Tempo Storm, but like I say, it's unlikely Navi's going to play poor for 3 days in a row. So you get them to this day, they snap back, and this is the Navi we normally know. So explosive, so dangerous on every map. And actually, I think Flamey's the guy who started to come back. And Guardians look very, very good. But I thought Flamey, the whole series today, his level really had gotten higher, whereas he was one of the guys who really struggled against Tempo Storm.
Yeah, I actually think C's is, we were talking about it earlier. C's, when he first joined Navi, he was looking like this really up-and-coming player. He had all these like really sick AK rounds where he'd spray like 5 people down. And now he seems, now that Flamey's on the team, he seems to take like a more passive role. He's doing a lot of the support roles. And I think like if he starts to step up and everybody else is playing good, I don't think any team can stop them, maybe in the entire world.
No, that's when Navi becomes one of those most skilled teams in the world. They really can actually match up with the TSMs. in the past, Envious, Fnatic, these sorts of lineups that we go down the list of names, you're like, this guy's so good, he could be the top 2 player for another team. Navi could be like that as well, so they don't have to get it from C's usually, but when they do, it's just going to push them over the top.
All right, well, thank you guys. Obviously, that was our first semifinal, our second semifinal. So these characters that are taunting me, there's Jordan right there, they're taking on their friends, all of our friends, my friends, Virtus Pro. That's going to start at roughly 12:30, so we're going to take a short break, come back, start our pregame analysis on that one, get something to eat, get something to drink, come back and join us for the second semifinal here at the CEVO Season 7 LAN Finals.